Welcome to the Point Out Loud Women Trailblazers podcast, Series 5, on Pointers Driving Change at UWSP, brought to you by the UWSP Center for Equity, Development, and Leadership. Here at UW Stevens Point, we believe that meaningful change begins with students and leaders who are committed to shaping a more inclusive, innovative, and empowered campus.
This series highlights the voices of passionate changemakers, students, advocates, leaders who are making an impact right here at UWSP. From student organizations to campus initiatives, these trailblazers are redefining leadership and community engagement.
As Ruth Bader Ginsburg once said, real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time. Let's celebrate the students who are taking those steps to transform our campus and beyond.
Listeners, in this session, you are in for some great laughter and deep conversations. Serena and I had the great pleasure to talk to Arianna and Kylee. They are leaders on the UWSP campus. We had a fun and a deep conversation. We talked a lot about what it means to be a woman who says it like she means it.
Arianna is the Vice President of Women in Business and a Marketing and Management student at UW Stevens Point, bringing a global perspective from her move from Italy and a passion for creativity and determination. Kylee is a senior triple major in finance, management, and marketing, actively involved in campus leadership as a campus ambassador, treasurer of multiple organizations, and a dedicated advocate for student success. Welcome, Arianna and Kylee. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, really good.
Good. Well, we have a handful of stuff to do. We have a handful of experience today.
It sounded like we're going to be involved in activities.
I know. Well, why don't we start by telling a little bit about yourself?
So I think you kind of covered most of it, but yeah, I'm Kylee. I am triple major, really busy on campus. I love being involved. I love being a leader. I've been in multiple clubs, so just to list a few: Women in Business, Accounting Club, Financial Literacy Association, but then two of the ones that I lead currently are Entrepreneurship Club and Toastmasters. So I was president of both of those, and now I am treasurer.
Awesome. Not to make fun of accounting, but aren't you a bit of a unicorn? Right? You like order and being up front and inventing?
Yeah, I dropped my accounting minor, but we're not going to talk about
that. Okay. Might have been one of those learning journey things, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still like learning about it, though.
Yeah. Me too, actually. It's really important to understand how money works, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say a triple major's enough. That's good. You did great.
And I'm Arianna. Like you said, double major in marketing and management. I am very honored to be the vice president of Women in Business. I will be running for next year as well. So
yay!
Love to hear that.
But besides that, I am involved in like other clubs on campus, not as much as Women in Business, but still involved. And I like to take part into like initiatives that are just a little bit like different or like unique, like Case in Point when I first launched, or I just came up with a business idea. So I tried like the pitch competition, and it's still a big work in progress, just the base ideas for now, but I'm excited. Yeah, there's a lot to do. I also have an internship with the continuing education department here on campus, so plenty to do.
Good for you. That's awesome. Lots to dive in here today. So you guys are both, oh my gosh, well, you're a junior, Arianna.
Yes, technically a senior, but then technically I'm a transfer student. So.
Okay. So you have, when is your graduation date?
It was supposed to be December, but then I moved it to May. So I'm not taking summer classes and just graduating on May.
Okay. Well, you both are upperclassmen, and so you both have had quite the time here so far. So I'm curious, what inspired you to take on these leadership roles at UWSP?
Yeah, so I think for me, I just really saw potential in all of the clubs. And when I first joined, for example, Entrepreneurship Club, there was only 5 people. I showed up and it was not very lively. Same with Toastmasters. When I joined Toastmasters, there was maybe 3 people.
Wow.
And they didn't have officer roles. And so when I joined these, I just really saw potential for growth, and I just wanted to continue to help and go into these clubs and give back, because I got out of it what I could, but I felt like there could be so much change for other students to benefit.
I love that. That is like the quintessentially perfect leadership answer, right?
I know, very
It's
well
what we
said.
want a leader to say. We want a leader to say there's so much potential here, and I saw that I could maybe provoke that or call it out or, bring that growth to life. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
And Ariana, what inspired your leadership journey?
So my leadership journey actually started at NTC, Northcentral up in Wausau, the tech college. And I have to say, it was more I needed to be persuaded into it. And, I always wanted to do and try, and I'm always like, have ideas and things. I'm like, oh, we could try this or that. But then I'm like, I've always been kind of like, oh, but who am I to do this? Yeah. So then I had a really good mentor at NTC, and I joined the honor society there and became president. Then once I moved to UWSP, I was like, I don't want to stop that. I want to keep going. And actually, Women in Business was the first club that kind of introduced me to, and I was like, this is an amazing just environment full of women in business that want to be leaders and succeed. And I kind of just fermented my want to keep the leadership positions.
Yeah, I love that. So many of us live with that who am I question. I'm in my 50s, and there's still times that I'm like, oh, who am I, right? Yeah. Who am I to want that? Who am I to think that's possible? Who am I to think I'm the one to do this? Who am I to speak up right now? So I really appreciate that. I'm just curious. So you talked about a mentor. What pushes you past this kind of self-limiting question inside that says, well, Ariana, who are you to do that? How do you, besides someone encouraging you, that's a good one, but how else do you get past that?
I guess to be honest, it's a mix of like people pleasing and the encouragement. So I'm kind of like, oh, like, yes, I'll do it. Like, I just want to make that person happy. Like, they believe in me. Like, I can do this. And then it's just doing it and then seeing that it went well. Seeing like, oh, I was able to do it. Like, I did it. So, like, why not keep doing it? Like, why not try something else? And that's the year that I'm in. It's like, I am trying to push myself out of my comfort zone. That's my goal for 2025.
I love your journey. That's going to be the title of your book. So from who am I to I did it. And you're kind of winking on the cover.
I love it. Do you have a marketing background?
I'm willing to work with you on it. Kylee can get us set up.
Yeah, perfect.
I love that. What was it about UWSP that you said, coming from, a different country and a different school, what was it about UWSP that made you say, oh, well, I can squeeze in here, I can do it?
I guess when I toured it, so I kind of, from NTC, I moved, I was like, I'm definitely going to WSP, it's close. And then I toured it and I was like, oh, this is actually exciting. I'm like, there is so much. And then the more I was here, the more I actually learned of all the things. And I feel like there's still so many things that are happening on campus that I don't even know they're happening. And so it was definitely intimidating, especially going from NTC, where like the student like engagement is like a struggle that we had, that we were trying to work on. But also that was intimidating, but also inspiring, because you see so many other students doing these things, and it's like, oh, so it's possible. Like this person is doing it, so I can do it too. Like there's room, and that's like the community also that there is here, like the environment of like you can do it. Like everybody's supporting you like all the time. So
I love that. That's great.
I'm going to say it. I don't know if anybody else believes this, but I do best tours in the state.
Hey, I'm a campus ambassador.
Would you agree with me? Best tours in the state?
Yeah, we always get people coming back to us and saying, oh, your tours are so much better than this school and this school. And it's so cool to hear. But yeah, I love being a tour guide because you get to impact so many people. And I've heard it multiple times, like UWSP is best in the state for sure.
Love it. Yeah, love it.
As long as Kylie's your tour guide.
Thanks, Serena.
So Kylee, same to you. What was it about UWSP that made you feel comfortable enough to say, oh, I can be here?
Yeah, when I toured, I toured multiple schools, and then when I came here, I just felt like a sense of community. And I always say that just sounds so cheesy because everybody always says that, but it's just so true. And I feel like anybody you talk to, and even like Ariana can testify.
Yes.
You just get this feeling of community. I was from a small town where I was related to literally everyone, and I knew everyone.
Yeah.
And so I kind of wanted that same sense that a small town gives, but this is still a bigger town. So it was like a perfect middle ground for me.
Yeah, I love that. It's so funny to say that it's cheesy though, because we're in Wisconsin.
But it's so true.
Intended.
It is true. So dig under that for just a minute. Like when you think about when you say UWSP creates community and that's what brought you here, what attracted you, what are 2 or 3 things underneath when you say community? What does that mean?
Well, I guess in a way for me is I'm not from here, so I'm from Italy. And I went from moving here and not knowing anybody at all, not even like a parent of a parent or a friend, no, like nobody, to like always saying hi every 5 minutes when I'm walking past.
Yeah. We're chatty here.
Yes, it's like it's not the biggest campus, but it's a big campus. There's a lot of students, but at the same time, like so many students. If you get involved, if you like even just a little bit, like you get to know like students and like faculty gets you connected with internship opportunities, but also like clubs. And I think I'm pretty sure that all of the things I participated in, like Case in Point and the pitch competition, I learned about them from a faculty member, and it wasn't just a poster that I saw, it was people talking about it and reaching out. Like I had one of my professors actually inviting me to one of his classes after seeing like my Case in Point like presentation, how I did, and that's just kind of the impact. Like I didn't know that professor before, and I didn't think he knew me. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I seen this, like I think you're really good, like that would be awesome class for you. And I was like, you know me? Like,
yeah. So just another person to say hi to now, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, when you first tour, I feel like you see that sense of community, but then when you get here, it's totally different, but in the best way. It continues to grow in the sense of community, and you meet so many people, and then you get involved, like you were saying, and your whole community grows, and everyone's willing to like lend a hand. It's just such a cool thing to see and like look back on now that I'm a senior.
You should see the smiles in the room, folks. It's a kind of interesting smile. We're all kind of tilting our heads a little bit, and our eyes are soft. It's a nostalgic smile.
Yeah,
right. So you guys are both upperclassmen and finishing up your education here. How would you say that UWSP has impacted your growth and shaped the person that you are today?
I don't think I would be the leader that I am without UWSP. I was always a leader. Like in high school, I was involved in like our Interact Club and Rotary and all that stuff. And I just loved leading and leadership and studying it and all of that. But then when I got here, as we were talking about, I just met so many amazing people, and they really helped define what leadership looked like for me and so many others. I've had a lot of mentors along the way. I've had a lot of people that have helped me. But yeah, I just think my growth is hard to put into words, but it's definitely changed from being here.
Yeah. It sounds like you went from ideas of leadership to actions.
For sure. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, I have to agree. Like it's hard to put in words, but like you mentioned, like mentorship, and for me, I guess a lot of it was. I don't know how to explain how it happened. It just happened, and I went from being, like I said, like needed to be pushed into things to just like coming up with things or ideas or like being like, oh, this will be fun, and like from kind of like shyly say it to like, oh, I know I can do this, so I'm gonna say it like I mean it because I know I can. And then I guess just the openness as well that there is here. It's something that like I never had anybody telling me like, oh my God, no, that is so silly. Like how like did you even like think of saying that out loud? Like the response I get whenever I have an idea or whenever I'm interested in something is always like open and positive, and it might not always be a yes, but it's definitely always like, oh, let's look into it, let's see if that will work out. Like it's always like very opening and encouraging, and just like, I guess like inspiring. It's like uplifting and building on top of each other.
I love that. Ariana's dishing out big wisdom today. She says, and I want to be, right, this is be like Ariana. That's the hashtag. She says, I am going to say it like I mean it.
I love that. I'm using that quote now. So coming from women in leadership, what are some of the barriers that you've seen for women leaders, and how do you think that student leaders specifically can help break those down?
I think that being a woman in business, especially, you probably, like many of you at this table, have probably experienced a lot of biases. I know I've heard things and I've witnessed many situations. I think the best thing you can do is try not to worry about what others think, which is way easier said than done. And that's something I'm still working on, but you really just have to kind of reflect internally, look at the situation, and just lean on the people who are there to support you, and then try to cut out those biases and what they're saying. It can be difficult, but it's gonna happen, and it's hard to kind of it's hard to go away from it, or like if it doesn't happen, it's always gonna be there, but you just have to try to trust your own judgment.
I definitely agree with that. I guess also like for me, like I said, like a lot of like imposter syndrome, and it's business especially is still like a very male dominated field, and like it makes me think like finance even more, like
for sure.
And so like not seeing that as much representation, then it's kind of what also kind of leads to the imposter syndrome, and it's a whole like circle in a way. But being able like having your own little community, like your own, not just community, but like your own circle of people that you can like lean on and like just trust, and they believe in you, and it kind of just gives you that like motivation, I think, that can like break those barriers and be like, I know I can do it if I just try for it.
When I was 21 and I first started going to meetings at Motorola, and I was the only woman at the table, right? So I had a professional career way before I got to this academic career that I'm in. And I remember I made a decision. I was 21 when I made it. And interesting decision. I decided that I was going to dress like the guys. And I stopped wearing dresses and heels, that whole thing. And I started wearing pants. I kept my... I toned down. I probably wish I hadn't toned down. I wish I had found maybe a style icon that was feminine and had a better balance. But I did really tone down, because what would happen is a lot of attention would get drawn to my difference versus my value.
Yeah.
And I wanted to turn the volume down on being different, and I wanted to turn the volume up on the value I could bring.
That just kind of reminded me of this one conference. Don't remember the name of it. Something with women. It was about women. It was in Milwaukee. I attended with Women in Business.
Right.
And the keynote speaker was this woman who is a businesswoman and also a pageant winner.
Yeah.
And that was like really, really inspiring for me, because it showed like, again, that representation that it's like you can lean in your femininity, you can be beautiful and like look it and still be taken seriously, or still have a business career, even if not everybody will automatically take you seriously. It's probably harder, but it's like so empowering, because it's like they did it, I can do it too. Like,
yeah, I think about the triple threat. I have a younger woman in my life, my best friend's daughter-in-law, and she I tell her all the time, she's a triple threat. She's beautiful, she's smart, and she's funny. And society so often tells us we have to pick one. You get to be one of these, not all three.
Right.
So let's go. Let's do it all. Let's be beautiful. Let's be funny. Let's be smart.
And I love that you made that your own change through your story, and you kind of took the initiative on that.
Yeah.
That's really inspiring.
Yeah, because I figured out I didn't have to give up my beauty.
Exactly.
It took me a while to figure it out because it worked, right? I stopped getting singled out for that. And another thing I'm not proud of is I stopped looking beautiful and I started swearing because these guys would interrupt meetings. Like I had one meeting, I counted it 7 times. They stopped to apologize to me because I said something inappropriate in a 1-hour meeting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to drop some. I also wish I hadn't done that. Times were different when I was coming up, and I made some compromises that I hope you never have to make. And know that as you figure it out, you'll try something and then pivot over here and then pivot over here as I've seen Serena do, getting our value into the room. That's what every technique we try, at the bottom of it, it's okay to experiment so that we can get our value into the space.
Yeah,
absolutely. And Lena was actually born headstrong. She was born a trailblazer all her life.
You can sense it from the energy. It's like, yes,
pretty much.
for sure.
We have been talking about women trailblazers women in business. And I do want to make sure that the listeners to this podcast session know that Serena is a founder in that space. So women in business would not exist on this campus if Serena had not persistently created the opportunity for that to be here. So thank you.
Yes, very grateful.
And what I've noticed also from this campus is the domino effect of women mentors and women mentees, and everyone just takes on this new role. And that's really what I've appreciated, because I, couldn't have done or gotten to where I am now without my peers, my friends, my mentors. So I love that theme at UWSP, and I think it's been a really cool opportunity to, get to be with all of these inspiring women, of course.
And I know that I met Serena through Women in Business. I met Ariana through Women in Business. And I think I met you at the Women Trailblazers Conference. So it's perfect.
It is. And we should shout out Deborah Byer's name, shouldn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. How about that?
I was just going to say that.
That is a powerful inspiration on this campus.
Yes. And
talk about smart, beautiful, and funny.
Exactly.
Yes. And on that topic, I want to shout out Kylee Houfe and Felisa as well.
Yeah.
Felisa. So both of you, like I said, you guys are both upperclassmen, and you guys have come a long way from, when you first started here. If you could go back to your first year at UWSP, what would you tell your younger self?
My biggest thing with this is when I was a first year, so I loved being involved, I always did, but I felt that I was too young. I looked at clubs, and I went through the engagement fair, pitch perfect moment, and looked at all the different clubs, and I knew what ones I wanted to join, but I felt like they were already well established, and they already had their people, and they were sophomores and juniors and seniors, and I was a freshman, and I didn't know if I belonged there. So my biggest piece of advice for incoming classmen is, when you're a freshman, you are not too young, and when you're a senior, you're not too old. I mean, it goes both ways, but you're never too young to join something. And if you find something that you like, just try it, because usually 9 times out of 10, it's not as scary as it seems.
Yeah.
I still feel like a freshman.
I know.
Well, you kind of are. You're back, right? You've got your first. What I think of as your big woman job, right? Does it feel like a fresh woman there?
Yes. I mean, we experience fresh starts every day.
Yeah.
I feel like.
True, nice.
Yes, for sure. What about you, Ariana?
Again, I feel like I say it every time, but I agree a lot with what Kylee said. Also, it's just stop overthinking it. It's like, I felt that same feeling of like, oh, I'm too young. And at the same time, I also felt like, oh, I'm too new or too old, because being a transferring student, I'm like, I'm not a freshman. And like even like credits wise and level wise, like I'm already like, I think I was a sophomore-ish. Like, so I was like, I'm too behind because the other sophomores like know this so much better than me, like know like the club, have been in here more. So again, like who am I to like try this or do this? But I also knew that I was gonna regret it if I didn't do anything. I was like, worst of all, I'm gonna hear no, like, and I'll just pretend it never happened and move on and just forget about it. Just it's fine. But again, like I don't think that has happened yet for me, that somebody was just like, no, you can't do that. So I guess just like try, say yes, even if it's scary. I remember even like case in point for me was like so scary. It's like, oh, this has never been done before. I'm gonna like apply, and then everybody else is gonna like be so much smarter, and they're gonna know what to do, and then there's gonna be me, and it's like, oh, and then there's a presentation at the end, public speaking, like I'm gonna make our team fail. And
seeing in my mind, I was like, oh no, Ariana's in the competition.
See, so and that's what I mean. It's just like a lot, like overthinking. It's a thing of perspective.
It is, yeah.
And like the way you see yourself, it's never the way other people see you, and other people see you. Each person sees you in a different way, or you are a different version of you for them. So it's like, just try it and just go for it. It's really it. Like, you're young. At least like that's what I keep hearing. So it's like, you're young, you're in your 20s. They say try everything, so why not?
Right. And especially as women, we're all extremely critical on ourselves, you know. It seems like a common theme that, you know, I'm sure we've all experienced as well.
Yeah.
My I'll tell you something, my power group, so we meet once a year. We meet in North Carolina, so it's me and 3 other women. One runs a public defender's office. One is a C-suite executive. One is a top salesperson. So we're powerful women who struggle sometimes to be as powerful as we are. We get the you're too much thinking, right? But we have named those self-critical voices inside of us. So we all have names for that voice that comes up. And so mine is Babs. So, right. We were at a country club when we named our voices, but Babs is so hard on me. Like, she wants me to be like fantastic at everything before I even experiment. And she, you know, holds all those criticisms maybe from my childhood or things that I thought, and it can be so hard. And Ariana, I just love how real you are. I love how you are like, oh, I totally don't believe in myself, and I'm fantastic. I love that.
It's like those two things can coexist. At least they do with me. I don't know what that says, but
yeah, I can be more than one thing.
Yes, but I love what you said. It's like another thing of my 2025 is like learning that failure is okay. And if anything, it's even better, because I always, whenever I'm like, oh no, like it's going to be so embarrassing, like I'm going to fail, like for the pitch competition when I tried for the qualifiers, I was like, oh, if I'm not going to make it, it's going to be so embarrassing and I'm going to be a failure. And then I didn't make it, and I realized I survived, and I'm still very proud that I did it. And so it's like, and I always like to think like, well, like if like Steve Jobs or if like any big entrepreneur would have said like, oh, what if I fail? Like if they wouldn't have failed, they wouldn't have learned. And so like that's kind of like, I feel like it's something you hear a lot, but also it's something that I'm trying to actually believe in.
She's still standing.
I think that's like the worst thing you can do is give into that fear and that voice in your head. It's so hard. I mean, for me too. And I know, like, my brother at home, he's always like, how do you do these things? Like, when I was in the sales competition, he's like, how did you get on stage and do that in front of all these people? I'm like, honestly, I think I blacked out. But you just get up there and you just do it, you know? And you just have to take that leap of faith. But I always try to tell myself, you can't give in to the fear, because that it's just going to catch up to you.
Yeah.
And Kylee, what I really admire about you is you're so you're so comfortable, but you're effortless.
Yes.
Like you're so effortless, and that's so admirable.
Thank you. I don't feel like that, but thank you.
She makes it look so easy.
We're our biggest critics.
That's where I said I black out. Case in point, blacked out at the sales competition. Everybody was like, you look like you weren't even nervous. I said, did you not see that microphone shaking in my hands?
That's funny.
Thank you
So
so
I'm
much.
thinking about fear and hope, right? So we've got Kylie's way of dealing with fear, and right is to just do it. Ariana's is go ahead and be more than one thing. I want to ask you about hope. When you think about women you know, women around the world, our status right now, what gives you hope for the future?
I feel like the women that I've encountered are just so generous and thoughtful and kind. And I think that gives me a lot of hope because we're creating these powerful and kind women who were role models for the incoming classes, the incoming children and all that. And I know it will continue because I feel like as I've been going through school more and more, I just see more and more power, and I can just feel the energy. And it's just such a cool thing to see.
I agree. I feel like I am not ready to graduate.
I agree.
It's like, I don't want to lose this. It's just so many things that I still want to do. And but I guess for me is like realizing that now, like in this last few years, or maybe a little more, I don't know, but I started noticing more and more and stronger, like women are actually there for each other and uplift each other. It's not anymore a competition of like, oh, there's so little space. Like I am like trying to like patriarchy. Men are trying to already push down, and then other women push like each other's down. Like it's not like that anymore. And it's like it's becoming like the opposite of that, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna uplift you even more. And that's, I guess, what gives me hope is like seeing, like hearing, seeing, like even on the internet, just women trying to help other women and like giving advice and more, and it's like it's just seeing that community within women in general.
I agree, definitely. So I guess what is in store for the both of you, either at UWSP or after UWSP?
I think most of you know, I want to own a coffee shop eventually. That has been my biggest goal for a long time. I started working at my local coffee shop in my hometown when I was about 17, watched it grow from the ground up, watched it change owners, fell in love with it completely. So yeah, I do want to be a small business owner eventually. Right after, though, right now I do have a sales job lined up after graduation. Yay. So yeah, thank you. It'll be near the Madison area so that I can be by home, and then just kind of keep my eye out for when the right opportunity for that business is. I'm not really in a rush. I just kind of want to figure more out about myself first, and then but I know I will do it. I have to tell myself I'm going to do it, not I want to try to do this. I have to say the statement so that I know I can make it happen.
That's so exciting. And I had the privilege of kind of going through the years with Kylee as well, and I've always known that she's wanted to open this coffee shop, and that's so cool that you're still holding on to that, and that, you know, that's in the plans for the future. So that's so exciting. Good for you.
Thank you.
Will be your first client.
Yes.
I was just thinking that. I want to come.
Yeah, you all get one free drink token.
I love it.
I'll be there.
For me, I would say it's complicated. I live day by day. Plans scare me. No, they don't. But I feel like my whole life has been like I would have never said I was going to be here by now. So it's hard for me to plan. But I'm kind of in between. So I'm an international student, so I'm on a student visa. When I graduate, I can work for 1 year under the student visa. And I definitely want to do that. I will move to a bigger city. I don't really have one specific in mind, but I always say I'm more of a bigger city girly. And work there for a year and then see how things go. If I do stay, I'm still figuring it out, but I'm realizing that what I want to do is I love marketing and I love health and wellness and fitness. So combining the two, like working as a marketing person in a wellness field would be really awesome. Maybe even owning my own like wellness brand. Maybe this app that I'm thinking about will go somewhere. We'll see. Or at the same time, I might also go back to Europe, and like I definitely want to get my master's at one point, so that's in the plans somewhere. And just I always say I went from Italy to over here right away, and I never really explored much of Europe, and there is a lot of opportunity and a lot of different ideas and mindsets over there too that are very interesting and fascinating. So we'll see where I end up.
That's great. I think not having a plan makes the pivot even easier.
Yes, it does.
I can see that in your smile and in your sparkling eyes that excites you.
And very bright futures ahead too. As we wrap up here, I just want to quickly finish with, what would you guys like to ask everyone listening to this podcast to do to further unleash women?
I would say give out compliments when you can. That is something that I found to be so small but so powerful. I try to do it in my daily life. If I see something, I say it, because you never know who it's going to impact. You don't know someone else's story. You don't know if they need that in the day. And if you see someone's doing a good job, tell them. So I would encourage all the listeners to, if you see someone in your life that is making a change or doing something and really putting a lot of effort into it, tell them that you appreciate it.
I love that. That's really great. Awesome.
Yes. And I can testify to that. My boss at the continuing education department, Noah, love him. He's also a mentor.
Shout out Noah.
Yeah, male ally, baby.
Yes. And he does that a lot with everybody that like he sees, and like I feel like he always sees the best in people. And he does that with me too. Like, and what I realized is that giving compliments really makes a person realize like, oh, that's right, I am doing all these good things. Because I feel like so many times we focus on what didn't work or what we did wrong, and we, even if we know what we did, like we don't appreciate it as much as we should. So hearing it from somebody else is definitely a really good advice. Like, be kind and give advice, give compliments, and I don't know, I kind of just want to second that. Like, just be kind, and if you can help, like, I guess, like, if you can help somebody that, even if they're not asking for help to you personally, like, if you can see and sense that that person is struggling or, like, could use some help, like, offer. Like, if you have the time, like, offer help, offer even just, like, a listening ear or just some advice. Like, that also goes a long way, because I feel like sometimes people think they have to do everything on their own or are just too afraid to ask for help. And, you know, don't be over, like, pressing, but just like dropping a little, like, hey, if you want, I think goes a long way too.
I have a question for you along those lines. So when we first worked together, so I feel like Arianna's a colleague. I don't even think of her as a student, honestly, because we worked together in continuing education. And so we were working on a program, and you were going to do the media campaign for that, and the prints and the visuals and everything. And so I was your client, right? I was one of your clients, and you were trying to ask me what it should be. And I set very loose parameters and then believed in you. Right? So that's my way of helping, is I help through believing in people versus do you know what I mean?
And I actually, like, I appreciated that so much, because I really resonated with the way you told me. Like, you didn't tell me, like, oh, I want this color or this thing. You told me what you wanted it to give, like, to represent, to the feelings that you wanted to evoke. And I was like, okay, let me see, like, let me make this real for her. And I guess, like, that's my favorite part of marketing, is just that. It's like making others people's thoughts reality. Like, But like that was for me really helpful. I always say like I can go either way. I can follow instruction like letter by letter, but when I have somebody that is like, you do you, that's the end goal. That's also really helpful, definitely.
And what we got out of that is something that we didn't imagine, right? You came up with a campaign that we'd never used those colors, we'd never used those shapes before, and so it was really to our advantage to believe in you. So listeners, I want to call on you. If you want to unleash women in our community and our region, believe in women on campus, right? Get connected, give to campus. We have over 200 student organizations, and they could use your support and your involvement. And believing in the power of what people on this campus can do while they're here and as they launch from here. I am telling you, I have, been here 14 years now, and I have met so many inspiring students, but also alums, right? Like you have this whole life from the moment you choose us until you're done with your life. In my mind, you're always connected to us. And so, folks, if you're listening, you get to believe in the lifetime of someone's impact, and we'd love to have you engage with us.
We are so privileged to just be talking with you both and sitting here at this table with you today. And thanks so much for being here and for being a trailblazer.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's a blast to see your trailblazing and hear it in action. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us for our 5th series on Pointers Driving Change at UW-Stevens Point. We hope these stories inspire you to step up, speak out, and make a difference in your own communities.
As Audre Lorde said, when we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard. But when we're silent, we're still afraid. So it is better to speak. Let's carry that courage with us in all we do.
Be sure to tune in to our next series where we'll continue to amplify the voices of those creating meaningful impact.
Until then, Serena and I want you, and we'll be doing it with you, to keep pushing forward, keep advocating, and keep driving change.